Oh,
Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Omega Files. It's kind of like a chapter 2 for tonight, but who knows what number it is? I'll look it up later. So tonight, like I said, I decided let's just have a little fun. Unfortunately, I know we're all sad. Well, most of us are. That Peter Capaldi's leaving the role of Doctor Who, and like I said, I know it's not going to amount to anything or a hill of beans. But I figure, what the hell? We've done this before, where we just like had a little fun, speculating on who, maybe they might just pick for the next Doctor. And I was like, okay, let's do a little something different where. You have like a wish list candidate, someone there's no way in hell the BBC is going to be able to afford, not on this planet or in your lifetime, unless, somebody strikes oil underneath, the television center, while they're digging it out. Or, so then, of course, you have your candidates who are out there who are available. And then I said, okay, now pick the absolute worst person. I'm talking somebody, if they walked out on the screen and said, hello, I'm the next Doctor, you would immediately seek the nearest, highest elevation to jump off of and hit the street at terminal velocity. Or, as I said a little bit earlier, if somebody who walked out on that screen, the second you saw them, they go, hello, I'm the Doctor, you would immediately grab the nearest batch of gasoline, go out in the middle somewhere, and set yourself on fire. That's bad. Okay? So, I'm talking like Emo Phillips is in the running, for that category. So let's just have a little fun with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do like a little bit of speed round. Like I said, I'm going to go around, ask for, one particular candidate, give us a couple thoughts on it, then we move on to the next person. Then we're going to go around the second round where I gave you, okay, pick the most, eligible. So first we're going to start off with a wish list. Okay, now Philip, I know you've been jumping up and down like
don't start with me first. Moving on. Let's start with someone else.
Yeah, I know you've been jumping around like a little boy who has to go pee for the last week. Trying to get your list out. So, okay, let's start off with you. Start with wish list. Who would you pick that's on the wish list?
My wish list is okay. You know what? I chose Tom Hiddleston.
Hang on, I can't hear you, or somebody's moving around. Hang on.
I chose Tom Hiddleston.
Okay.
And is that what you want? You just want one or two?
Oh, well, give one more. What the hell? Who would else be on there?
And the other obvious one is the one that I keep banging on about is Eddie Redmayne. There you go.
All right. Yeah. In other words, no way in hell. Okay. No, it's just everybody's been jumping up and down saying Eddie Redmayne. I'm like, are you kidding me? You think he's going to leave a prosperous movie career to go film for like 3 months at a time on a television show? No. Especially for what the BBC pays. Here's a handful of beans. Go film something. All right. Let's go to Alex, wish list candidate.
here. Actually, I'd like the guy from Luther, actually, but he'll never take the job. He's too big now.
Yeah, Idris Elba, because if he's on the Dark Tower movie apparently right now, and if that takes off, he's gonna be busy for a while.
Yeah, so I'd do that.
He's already said he wouldn't do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said wish list. Let's see who else out of the current list. The gentleman from the IT crowd, Richard. Never could put on his name. Yeah. So, and then I guess for a crazy pick, probably do like Hasselhoff or some crazy choice like that.
Well, that would be dumpster.
It never would work. No Americans, please. Yeah, it never would work.
Especially if the TARDIS started talking to him like Kit. Okay, Beefhead. Wish list candidate.
Right, wish list. I've thought about this, and I've thought about what people have asked for, and I've got a few different ideas. I made a small presentation. My selection is Dev Patel. He's not just Slumdog Millionaire. He's now nominated for an Oscar. He's 29 years old. He's not white. He's got experience doing it. He did Skins, which is a show popular with teenage kids here. He's done comedy. He did The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. He did Chappie. He can wear glasses. He can look quite clever, quite intelligent, but also he can have facial hair. He might be a hit with the young ladies. So, yeah, I think Dev Patel would be a really cool choice. And I think this is a very nice suit. And I think Dev Patel would be my wish list choice. I do. I think he's a very, very good actor. And yeah, he's top of Beef's wish list. He's young. He's not necessarily your plain white bread, everything like that. And he's a good actor. So yeah, Dev Patel.
Okay.
Can I just ask something quickly?
Yes.
Have you got one of those for every of your picks, by the way?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
I came prepared, son. Yeah.
So do I.
But yeah, I seriously think Dev Patel is a choice that people may not have necessarily thought of.
It's a good choice. Good choice.
And he is a very, very good actor and often overlooked. I think he would bring something to the role that we haven't necessarily seen before.
Okay, Susan, wish list.
Okay, wish list. British wish list. Steve Coogan is brilliant. He's not as old as everybody expects, and he's really good at being self-effacing and getting dumped on by people. And so I choose him for my wish list. And if it's Americanized, I choose Michael Shanks from Saving Hope and Stargate SG-1 and the other Stargate franchises. So.
All right.
Dev Patel. You have been called, Dev.
Okay, Connor, wish list.
From Game of Thrones, the Mad Queen herself, Lena Headey. I think she'd be brilliant. And from Fleabag and now the Han Solo film, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
All right. AJ, wish list.
For me, it's going to be a weird one. Rowan Atkinson, because I liked him when he did The Curse of the Fatal Death, and I thought he could probably bring a bit of comedy and seriousness to the role. And probably Mark Gatiss too. I like the idea of him probably being the Doctor. I mean, it's way out there, but he would be an awesome Doctor.
All right, Nightwing, wish list candidate.
Philip took my first, so I literally had to think of one upon the top of my head. Well, it originally was going to be Eddie Redmayne, but I'm now going to go with Hugh Laurie.
Ah, that was mine, you bastard. Oh, okay, but yeah.
Philip for stealing mine.
Okay, Texas Tim, wish list.
Well, everybody's picked good choices so far. It's really difficult when you're wondering whether or not your choice is too old or not the right color or not the right sex. At this point, we don't know what they expect or what they want or what's allowed, which is not cool. I mean, it should just be somebody that's qualified for it. But I would say Patterson Joseph was a good choice in 2009 when they considered him. When I saw him in Neverwhere 20 years ago, I thought this is a very doctorish type character, wouldn't he? I mean, the Marquis. And so when I found out later that he had been considered, I thought, well, they could have went with. He would have been good. Smith was good. Okay. I don't have a problem with Smith, but I mean, I think that Joseph would have been just as good. But at this point, I think he's probably a little too old for the BBC. As another one, I would pick Tom Hardy, but I know he wouldn't go near it. So I mean, but he's a good actor. You can see him on BBC One every Saturday. So those are my two choices.
Yeah, Hugh Laurie was my number one answer because, like I said, that guy can do just about any damn thing when he puts his mind to it. So, and he can do dark. He can also be Americanized. He can also. Oh, I gotta love that guy. All righty. Okay, now we go for actually has a freaking shot. This is somebody who's out there eligible to be employed, who you think actually fits the bill put out by the BBC, who you think's going to make it, or even just has a chance. Like I said, I'll start it off. Like I said, the one I'd really like to see do it because he just came available is Chris Marshall, because I've seen him act on Death in Paradise, and I think he's shown a great range just in that series alone. He can go from very speculative to very intelligent to very out there into like the flash of an eye. So I think he can, he has an actual shot. He's only 46 years old, so he's much younger than Capaldi. Not too young, but he's in the ballpark. And it's a job that would give him a bit more money and he can stay home with his kids. But okay, or in the area. All right, so let's go for actually has a shot. Philip, who do you think actually has a shot at it?
You're muted.
My apologies. Right, because he's already been in the show before playing the Doctor, and I thought, well, he hasn't done it. He's finished with Walking Dead and all that. I chose David Morrissey, in the sense that the Doctor's remembering meeting this guy and thinking, I like the look of that guy. I want to look like him, and then he regenerates into that.
It would be a hell of a piece of irony. The next Doctor. Oh, no.
He would be very good, but don't you think he's too old?
No.
How old is Morrissey? I forgot.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I'd have to look it up later.
He's probably what, late 40s, early 50s, maybe something.
Yeah, I thought he was in his 50s.
He's very good. You're right, Philip.
Yeah.
He would be an excellent choice, but I mean, again, we don't know what the BBC want at this point. I'm pretty sure they want somebody that looks, 18.
I think we're all being a bit. We're all looking at in that way too hard. I think they're going to go down the middle of the road, age-wise.
I know. I have a gut feeling they're going to go way younger this time, but like I said, we don't know who's auditioned or who's going to be auditioned. But I think I said, let's have a little fun. Okay, Nightwing.
Hang on. My other second choice for that, in the frame, for female Doctor would have to be Michelle Ryan for me, but she's beautiful anyway. So there you go.
Okay, yeah, she played D'Souza, wasn't it? All the way back in Planet of Death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where the flies circle around. Yeah, those bastards. Okay. All righty, let's go to Nightwing. Who do you think actually has a shot at it? Your actual has a shot candidate.
See, I had to do a lot of digging to find actors who have acted both on the BBC before and aren't exactly doing the right lot at the moment. It was difficult because I had to pick actors that I wanted to go with somebody who hadn't been on Doctor Who yet. And that's quite difficult, especially with it running, many, many years at this point. I went with Matthew Bainton. I don't even know that's how you pronounce his name. Wait a sec, I'll get it up if I can. I don't think I could show. Oh, there I can. You can. Scrimmers.
Yeah, you can bring up. Yeah, you can screen share. It should be. You should have it.
Yeah. I'm just figuring this out. Yeah, that's him. He's mostly a comedian. He's not too young, but not too old. I don't know. He can. Wait a sec. I'll see if I can find a picture of him with a beard. I'll show you.
He's got the chin. Ah.
It seems beards are the in thing.
Yeah, too bad they didn't tell Colin Baker that back in '86.
all I say is Tim Wells did it first. Timestamp that son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's got the chin factor going there, don't he?
Yeah. See, I could actually see this guy possibly playing the Doctor. He's hilarious. I don't know what he'd do. I don't know what kind of style he would go with because I don't think I've seen him play a dark character.
He's a comedian, right?
Yeah, he's a comedian. That's what I mean. He'd probably play a
He was in The Wrong Man's, right, Tim?
Yeah, with James Corden.
Well, I mean, that's another question. Are they going to try to imitate Smith and Tennant? Hopefully not. I mean, that's with his chin, though.
I was thinking of when I was looking at this. He does remind me of a bit of Tennant and a bit of Smith.
So an amalgamation, really, a bit of both.
Yeah, I wasn't sure though if to go with him or not, but I don't know.
I don't know. He is a relative unknown. He's in the right age range. If they want to go way younger, so that's not a bad choice actually.
He's not, I think the last thing he did was a few months ago. I think it's in post-production right now. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay. So, yeah, that's not a bad unknown candidate there. That's somebody I wouldn't have picked or even known about, to be honest with you. And that's the way it was with Smith.
Something interesting.
Huh?
I told Phil a couple of weeks ago that it was an interesting candidate.
Yeah, because Smith was a complete unknown when he came. He stepped in an audition. I guess he really knocked them off their ass, and that's how he got it. And he was basically still wet behind the ears, young, So.
Well, he was in his late 20s when he started as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. He had been in one series previously on BBC. It was what was it? Party Animals.
Yeah, he was good in that actually.
Okay, AJ actually has a shot candidate, do you think?
Someone who's been in Doctor Who before, Russell Tovey. He was also in Being Human. I thought he was awesome in that, showing the gauntlet of emotions that he had, from rage to sadness and everything in between. So,
Alonso.
yeah, that's my choice. Alonso, yes.
Yeah, Alonso. Yeah, because I also watched him in Being Human. Yeah, really good actor, very young, very nice, good looking guy, and yeah, he does. He's a really damn good actor from what I've seen. So yeah, he could definitely get. All right, Susan, who do you think's got a shot at it? Actually, has a shot candidate.
All right, my actual has a shot candidate for British actors is Robert Carlyle.
Ooh.
He's just so adorable anyway. And Chris Pratt, if it's Americanized, if BBC America takes over.
That's never going to happen.
Chris Pratt will never happen. Honestly,
Never say never, Philip.
But I think Marvel have got Chris Pratt for the next few years.
It's coming.
It would be hilarious, Chris
filmed, filmed live in Toronto, Canada. Okay. All right. Okay. Do you have anyone in mind, Texas Tim, for an actually has a shot candidate, or?
Well, to be honest, I think they should go with someone who's a bit unknown. I think that gives them an advantage, because if you go with somebody that is known, you're going to have expectations, and you know how fans are. I would just go with Tim's choice. I've never seen that guy in anything, but he does tick all the boxes. He's not white, so you get that out of the way. He's young, and he has a beard, and I haven't seen him in anything, but I'll take Tim's word for it. There you
go. All right. Connor.
Someone who I have heard is actually in with a shot because she's being considered. Michaela Curl. I'll share.
Really? What's with all the girls?
I'm waving the feminine.
I don't know why everybody has a problem with female candidates.
I don't know what it is, but I think he's trying to say something.
Wait a minute. She kind of like has a Black Paul McGann thing going there with her.
Is that Amorosa? No, I'm just kidding.
Apparently she's in with an actual shot. They've considered her. So hopefully that. And from Game of Thrones again, Aidan Gillen.
All right.
Is she on that BBC series Bubblegum?
Chewing Gum.
Yeah.
All right. Beefhead with his next presentation actually has a shot candidate.
Yes. It's very hard. It's tough to come up with what you think is a valid proposition. Especially to put to such an esteemed panel such as this. So it was a very taxing task when I was approached by the good people at Freedom Incorporated to look for a potential candidate. So if I may present to you in my next high-tech presentation, he's called Robert Sheehan.
Yeah, that's the name.
If you've seen, now, because this all comes out backwards, it says, don't take it the wrong way, but you look like a panty sniffer. He was in a TV show that was shown on Channel 4 called Misfits, where about a load of young guys who got superpowers and girls, and he's funny. He's Irish. We haven't had an Irish guy really brought to the role yet. So, yeah, I think that would be a really good thing to have.
Fuck on me.
Right, okay. He's also 29 years old.
It sounds like you're trying to set him up for a date or something.
Yeah, that's it. He can look pensive. He can also grow a beard. He's been in comedy films with Rupert Grint, and look, there's Ron Perlman, who we all love, Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
He also can wear a bow tie. He was in Mortal Instruments, so there's an existing chick fan base. Look, there's a screaming room behind him. Oh, we love you, Robert. But also, he can grow a goatee and look quite carry an umbrella and wear quite kooky clothes. So yeah, he's British. He's 29. He can wear facial hair. He can do comedy. He can do serious acting. He's doing Fortitude that's on Sky at the moment. He's doing a film called The Bad Samaritan currently with David Tennant. So there's a David Tennant connection there as well. So yeah, I think that there's more to be seen from this guy. He's not necessarily as well known as a lot of people. If his bio is to be believed on Wikipedia, he can also play the banjo and the spoons, because everyone who is a doctor now has to have some form of musical talent. We've already had a spoon player, we've had a guitar player. I think we could be bringing the banjo back. So yeah, he can do comedy, he can do serious. He's young, he's Irish. People find the Irish accent very alluring, very attractive, very relaxing, but also scary when they're drunk, I've been led to believe. So, yeah, there's so many things that he could do in this. And, yeah, he has been nominated for a BAFTA. He's been nominated for awards in Ireland. So, yeah. What can I say? It's a complete package, and thank you for allowing me to make this presentation, and I hope I get through to boot camp.
we're bringing the banjo back. Is that what I understood? Okay.
Hey, it never went away.
We need a banjo playing doctor.
Best.
You guys forgot the recorder.
Oh. Okay, Alex, who do you think actually has a shot at it?
Well, I mean, we mentioned him before. The gentleman that was in the Dalek story with Christopher Eccleston. But I mean, again, I'm trying to think of other ones. I just kind of hope they do get away from sort of bringing in people that were in previous stories and just have, a brand new person. Then it's a question of, is it unknown or not? But yeah, I'd say Patterson. I mean, he is a good actor. There was that person on Hustle as well. I forgot his name right now. But yeah, I mean we'll see what they do. We'll see if they have a younger person. We'll see if they have a younger person that is more like Smith and Tennant, or if they will go with an Indian or a non-Caucasian, just to be more modern and a little bit more politically active, I guess.
Shocked nobody mentioned Sacha Dhawan yet, because he would have filled
good choice, actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I was thinking somebody would at least pick him out of the little group. But like, one of the reasons why I like doing this kind of stuff is this: just imagine we all did this just for fun tonight. Just imagine what the poor Chib and the gang are going to have to go through in the coming months, because they're going to have to bring in God knows how many actors, actresses, and whatnot, and they're going to have to sit down and do screen tests, auditions, read-throughs, and all that. And here we're just doing this for shits and giggles. And I know
I printed out pieces of paper, not just black and white, color. And color don't come cheap.
But it's not the question. It's not the question, though. Do we know what the limitations are at this point? Because obviously he has even less choice in his choices than the two previous showrunners did. I mean, obviously they're obviously pushing the old man out, and that's something I don't like at all. I don't think anybody here likes that, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good sign. That means that it's the bean counters calling the shots now, whereas back in 2003 when they first started developing it, the show coming back, they told him, hey, you do it. You know what you're talking about. This, Doctor Who. And they pretty much did the same thing with Stephen Moffat. Now it's a money machine for them, and they want it to be run so that it gets the same kind of numbers it did 5-6 years ago. I think it's a sad state of affairs, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's why I'm thinking that maybe the BBC America, I chose a list of British actors and a list of American actors, or people from the West who might be interested in or might be able to do it, to bring in the money.
You see, like I said, if you look back on on television history, chances are if there's a show out there you really love that was running just fine and then suddenly went right down the pooper, there was a studio exec behind it. And like I said, studio execs are the worst freaking cancer on freaking television there ever was.
Michael Grade.
Exactly. Michael Grade, who went on a
Exactly.
mission.
I was just going to say, we already have a precedent for this, even though it was in the old series when it happened before. Here's the thing. We're in the same circumstance right now. Whereas you had in the 80s, what happened? The 20th anniversary episode, right? Special episode shown on Saturday everywhere around the world. Everybody got to see it pretty much at the same time. It wasn't simulcast, but you get the point. And then what happened? There was kind of a natural wane in viewership. And then who did they blame it on? The new Doctor. Same thing's happening right now. 30 years later, it's the same kind of situation. Even though the show is completely run completely differently now, it's run by different people. It's more up to date. It's more up to speed. But at the end of the day, what you have here is interference based on the numbers they want that they had years ago and that they're not getting right now. Who do they blame it on? The new doctor.
Rather than being creative, it's a case of making an audience and fitting your show
This is the second time somebody's being pushed out in the history of Doctor Who. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. For no reason.
But it happens, though. That's the main. It happens.
What do you mean? Oh, never. I don't even want to get into it with you, hater.
Like I said, the studio execs have been a plague on sci-fi shows forever. Like I said, I remember back when Galactica suddenly went off the air, and their excuse was it wasn't getting high enough ratings. No, the story finally came out like 15 years later. The truth of the matter was the show was costing like $1.2 million an episode to produce, and they just didn't want to foot the bill. So the studio exec stepped in and said, I got an idea. The fans want the show back. Let's do Galactica 1980, where we fired just about all the main cast and put a little blonde boy in charge. Oh no, this doesn't hint at Nazi Germany. Oh, a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid who just happens to be from the start. But okay, that's a whole other matter. But it has its precedences where studio execs should not be allowed anywhere near a show. They just yell, I think it should be like this. Oh,
the BBC is desperate for money. They're not the same organization they were back in 2003 or 2004, 2005. They're not. They don't have the cash. I mean, Russell T Davies had free reign to do it. He had 2 spinoffs that both of which were pretty successful, I would say. When the minute they got, then we had our world recession, and then the minute Moffat took over, it was like, okay, here you go. Here's half the cash, but do what you can with that. And that's why you have split series and all the other nonsense that he gets blamed for.
And even since then, you've had a bigger field. Even since then, you've had the bigger opening of different fields of people making TV and Netflix and everything like that now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then toss in, they just passed that thing, what was it, last year, where, the older residents now no longer have to pay a TV license, and that dramatically cut the budget on everybody across the board. And it seems like Doctor Who, though, took a major hit on that.
Well, I think Susan has a good point, though, because already BBC America has been co-funding stuff like Class, which, that's not a good thing, or the recent animations that we got for Power of the Daleks. So obviously, somewhere down the road, they're going to kick in some cash to get this. But that's the thing. It should change. It should be on something like, it shouldn't be limited to the BBC's limitations at this point. If they want it to be successful, it should be like a Netflix type program where if you have a subscription, I mean, that's pretty much what BBC is, but it doesn't work that way anymore. So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's, as far as
I'm not saying they should sell it to the States. I'm not saying they should sell it because it should not be Americanized. It should be what it has always been, which is a British institution. Unfortunately, the BBC can't hang anymore, and they should just go commercial like ITV or just sell it on to somebody that can do it the right way, because obviously this isn't working.
Yeah, because I remember when they canceled Ripper Street at the end of Series 2. And then it went on like 3 more series being co-funded by Amazon Prime. It was still under the BBC, but the condition was, okay, we get to air the full unaired episode, and then a few months later, then you get the edited one. So
I mean, Amazon is carrying Doctor Who now. It was sold from Hulu to Amazon, so.
No, they're still playing around with co-productions, though. The one I mentioned, the one that Tom Hardy's in, Taboo, that's on BBC One, and then it shows up on FX in the States 3 days later. So it's one of those things where it's co-produced, which is the only way they could do things.
Yeah, if things do go south enough, it may end up being Doctor Who's co-produced by Amazon Prime. I can see it happening right now because they did the same thing with Ripper Street. But hey, Ripper Street kept the exact same creative guys. The exact same guy who created the show in the first place was still in charge. It's just the money was coming halfway from somewhere else. And I think that may end up happening to Doctor Who within the next few years.
Is it funny that, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, unfortunately, though, aren't we already seeing the effects of them second guessing who should be in the title role and who should be running it and all that stuff? Because you're right, they left the creative people alone on Ripper Street. They didn't say, hey, recast what's his name because he's too old, or do this, or bring in more chicks and have more nudity or whatever. But I mean, that's what they're doing here. They're saying, okay, we're going to put our 2 cents in and we've got the money. So see you later, Peter.
That was the other guy on my wish list was Jerome Flynn, by the way. But I would have seen him as especially after being Braun.
I was going to say, how many shows are going to end up on Amazon Prime from the BBC? You know, the Top Gear guys have got on there. Ripper Street was kind of there. And is Doctor Who going to be gone completely over to Amazon Prime, or is it, you know, BBC seem to be losing a lot of their business?
Well, you see, it's kind of a compromise, you see, because, as I said before, it's just Amazon Prime co-funds the show, but you see, they get to air it first on their thing, and then it'll air on BBC One a few months later, but at the same time, it's edited down to 55 minutes.
Yeah.
No, the Top Gear situation is they don't. BBC doesn't have the show anymore.
Yeah. What I'm saying is it going to be a situation where BBC have to have no choice to give it to Amazon Prime?
Well, like I said, it could happen. It's not happened yet. It could.
Yeah, you know, but that's the thing is that one day,
Doctor Who isn't part of the Amazon Prime purchase, though. It was purchased for the for Hulu from Hulu for broadcast, but the people who have been investing in Doctor Who and its spin-offs recently have been BBC America. BBC America co-funded the whole Power of the Daleks DVD release and the broadcasting it in the theaters in the United States. I mean, I took my client to it, and it was all 6 episodes in black and white on the big screen. It was all the cliffhangers were cut out, so it was one solid motion picture basically. And it was like 2 hours long. It was, or 2.5 hours long. It was brilliant. And BBC America funded that, so it won't be Amazon Prime. The little arrow is pointing towards BBC America. In so many, so much, precedent. If I can use that word.
Well.
It will never happen. BBC will never give up the rights to that in the same way as that Mickey Mouse will never be sold by the Disney Corporation. Exactly. They'll always have it. It's just the limit to which they have their involvement in it. All they will do is that they will just split it between the different production arms of it, like BBC America, like at the moment it comes out of BBC Wales. It's going to be, part parcel here, there, and everywhere. But no way will it ever move from there. It will never ever happen. It just. That's the way it's going to be, guys.
Okay, let's get to the last category before we get way out there in La La Land. Okay, well, wait, did I just mention a musical? All right. Dumpster fire candidate. Somebody who, if they walked on the screen, you would reach for the nearest firearm and harm yourself. All right. Let's start with Nightwing. Dumpster fire candidate for the...
I mean, I have a couple, but I'm just going to go with Shaun Ryder.
Oh.
That's the thing is, you can't see him. That's the thing. It's just a bit of a too out there. And besides, he hasn't really got. If you've heard him in interviews or in general, he does swear a lot. Like when he was on I'm a Celebrity. I don't know if you guys. I don't know. I'm pretty sure AJ, you'll have it, and I'm not sure about you over in America. It's basically a show where celebrities go into a jungle and do random challenges for points for us to watch. But basically, he was on there and he kept swearing that much in one episode. Half of he didn't even speak properly without the buzzer going off, to bleep it out. He swore that much. I don't think he'd be able to be controlled on set.
Okay, Philip.
Like Colin Baker was on I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah.
Dumpster fire. I had a bit of trouble trying to work out my dumpster fire people, so I'm just going to say one, and it's a bit of a kick of the teeth for her, but Crystal D. I don't want her to do Doctor Who.
Who?
Crystal D.
Anyhow, she popped up saying, "I'm the Doctor. I'm out of there." Basically, so there you go.
Yeah, host of the alleged fan show. Okay. Beefhead, dumpster fire candidate.
Oh, how I've been looking forward to this one.
Little presentation.
This one came to me in a drunken moment of clarity where I was with you guys, and I had to write it down so not to forget it. It is this much of an epic one. I have perhaps even my spiciest presentation for you on this one. It gives you everything that the BBC has been looking for in a Doctor Who candidate and more. And you will guarantee to hate it. Oh, this is just so delicious. It really is.
It's so sweet, it should be fattening. All right.
Oh, okay. Are we ready? Are we ready, guys, to unveil image number one? He's not afraid to be... Oh, hang on. Let's go through the checklist. Young, colour, trans, musical, facial hair. I've written this backwards so then you guys can understand it. This is the time and trouble I go when I think about these podcasts. So someone who's... Let's reveal the first one. Someone who's not afraid to be different.
What the fuck's that?
Ah, you don't know where I'm going with this one. Okay. Yeah, not afraid to dress kookily and strangely, and can wear perhaps slightly feminine clothes, appealing to our good friends in the LGBTQ and trans community. Yes.
Jaden Smith.
Oh, yes, indeed. It's the poster child for white privilege. It's Jaden Smith and his dad.
Oh God.
Wait.
He loves to tweet. If a bookstore never runs out of a certain book, does that mean nobody reads it? I watch Twilight every night.
Oh God.
Well,
Oh,
Yes, it's Jaden Smith, boys and girls. That's my dumpster
God.
fire. Yeah. So let's go through the flow chart of picking a new doctor. Yeah, he can do facial hair. Yes.
can he?
Young. Yes. He's not necessarily white. Okay, he's Americanized too. He can appeal to the trans, and he's also got, well, dubious musical talents. So you have all these things here. He's American. He's not scared to be different. He can do trans. And all of these things as well. There you go. That is your display.
Who is he?
What were you drinking, and were you on drugs at this time?
That's your dumpster fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, beef. He can also do crossovers with Men in Black.
There you go. If this guy was cast as the Doctor, would you watch?
No, I wouldn't.
I'd pour bleach into my eyes.
Oh dear. That stings.
I've just killed Doctor Who. I've been beef. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Michael Grant's got nothing on him.
Susan, dumpster fire candidate.
Okay, I didn't actually think of it in terms of dumpster fire. I thought of it as just like a rubbish candidate, like not so bad, not like Jaden Smith. But if it was Americanized, it would have to be Eric Roberts, because the Doctor has seen his face and he's going to regenerate into him. That sort of trope.
There you go. The previous casting. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. And
He always dresses for the occasion.
yeah. All right. And the other one is the British one is Boy George.
Ooh,
Boy George, Alan O'Dowd. He's probably he acted in A-Team, and he's amazing in music, but I don't think he'd be a really great candidate for the Doctor. But he's phenomenally weird, and I like him a lot as a human being. And I just wish him all the luck in the world. And this is not a dumpster fire one. This is I was just thinking completely out of the box.
Unfortunately, a few years ago, if he'd actually landed the role, there'd be a secret roundel full of smack. Okay.
my
But
goodness.
he is clean now, thankfully. I will say that he is clean now, thankfully, because he was really a dumpster fire himself there for a while.
And he could do the facial hair. I mean, he's doing makeup and facial hair at the same time. It's brilliant.
Okay, HA, dumpster fire candidate.
I've got three of them. The first one is Sacha Baron Cohen, the guy who plays Ali G in Borat and all that.
No.
He's just terrible. The second is Tilda Swinton. I cannot stand her. I've seen her in 2 movies, Constantine and Doctor Strange. She's bollocks. The third and final one is Rob Schneider. Just no.
Yeah, Rob Schneider managed to kill the Judge Dredd movie on his own, just about. Oh. Okay, Connor, dumpster fire candidate.
This is Dumpster Inferno, Matt Smith and David Tennant. Because the fangirls need telling that you're not going to get a degeneration. So, and every time
I thought you meant like mixed together. Or
You
do
want
you mean
to
like
back the
separately
end on
because
the
they
back.
play the same person?
No, it's 2
Yeah,
separate names, but together they're just awful suggestions. Degenerate.
I keep hearing their names coming up. Like, come on, guys.
They won't do degeneration, no.
Yeah, let's
That's
not.
what the BBC wants, though. They want that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say STFU to all of that.
What's that in English?
Been there, done that.
Okay, hey, Alex, dumpster fire candidate.
Well, I mentioned it before. David Hasselhoff, although Eric Roberts and Jaden Smith are incredibly bad choices.
I think
if I David Hasselhoff is also a bad choice. A very bad choice.
Come on, Andrew. Let's go take out a corporate entity. Yeah. I said, now my call. Okay. Okay, Texas Tim, dumpster fire candidate.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Oh.
No, but Philip took my choice. I was going to say Cristal D as well, but I would just say Matthew Waterhouse. Let's just pile on him. Everybody else does.
Apparently, nobody likes poor Matthew Waterhouse.
That's cool.
Goodness, man. But again, previous casting.
Yeah.
We have Eric Roberts. We have Matthew Waterhouse. So there you go.
No, the blue box boy would give.
Eric Roberts is very busy with all of his centipede. What do you call it? Sequels. Human Centipede.
He's on direct to video, and he's in a lot of he's in a lot of CSI and that type of stuff. So.
Okay, and lastly, this is just for shits and giggles, because I don't know if they're getting rid of Michelle Gomez or not. Like I said, I'm just saying, let's assume she's leaving with the pack. Let's say, if it happens, who would you pick to play the master? Okay, let's start with Philip.
Good, thank you very much. Right, okay, I'm going to give you 2 choices. I've got quite a few, but I'll give you 2. I thought
Pick one.
Okay, I thought the guy from Game of Thrones, the one got eaten by the dog, got eaten by his own dogs. Rion, I will.
Ewan.
No.
Yeah, because
just no.
Yeah.
He can do evil good, man. He can do evil good, right? And then the one that people thought before would have been the Marvel, John Shepherd. If you remember him.
Oh my God! Again, thank you. You know what, Philip? You know what? No.
He was my choice as well.
Oh, okay. At least.
So 3 votes for John Shepherd right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy? He can pull off a beard pretty well, and not everybody watches what he was in.
2017, the year of facial hair.
No, but like he played. I wouldn't say a villain. He was like the bad boy of that era of the show, and he did. He was involved in a lot of shit stuff. So I don't know. He could play a pretty convincing master.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, AJ, who would you pick to play the master if that happened?
If they regenerated into a woman again, I'd pick Eve Miles because she was batshit crazy in Broadchurch season 2.
Oh.
My second choice is Aidan Turner. He was the vampire from Being Human.
Oh yeah,
he was brilliant.
Oh, okay, I remember him. Yeah,
the first vampire, the Irish one. And the final one, yeah, sorry.
Lots of big names. Yeah.
And the final one is Mark Sheppard from Supernatural. He would make an awesome master.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Ruth Connell. Okay. Farragus. Okay. What do you say, Farragus? All right, Susan.
right.
For my Americanized one, I'd say Hayden Christensen.
Oh God! Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Susan, that should be the dumpster fire one, dearest. Come on.
That's
That-
a big
that's
fire
not-
on every single.
Oh. Yeah, the
Dude,
Star
I
Wars
got early.
Doctor crossover. Yeah.
All right. Well, my serious one, my British one, was someone who's actually really good at playing baddies. He was in Hannibal. He's been a bunch of things. He was in this thing called The Riches, which is, he played a guy who stole somebody else's whole life, house, and identity. It's none other than Eddie Izzard, ladies and gentlemen. He's good. He's also able to wear the dress that Missy wore.
Right.
So I mean,
Y'all
he
thought
could
Gomez
regenerate
was
right
camp.
from
There
her,
you
and it
go.
would look lovely on him. Sweetness and he's like uber current, and he does a lot of cool stuff, and he's
Uber
run like
current.
1 million marathons. So
More like Uber 30 years ago. What are you on about?
I've not seen him on TV or anything recently, so
I think that's quite an inspired choice.
Yeah.
Come on, dear.
No, I like it.
we go from man to woman to. What's that? What said he is like himself as? Is it a woman or is it man?
He's a transvestite. He still likes to put sausages in holes, but he's a transvestite. That's all. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
That's it, boys and
man
girls.
to woman to transvestite.
That's how babies are made.
Thank you.
Dear.
Thank you.
Oh, dear.
Okay, beef.
I've gone for something more classic, where some of my choices have been somewhat unusual and untoward. Like I say, yeah, I've put a lot of work, as you can see, I've put a lot of work and time into my choices and what I've gone for. And it's been in front of you guys all the time, and you may not have realised.
Really?
Okay, let's go to the board, shall we?
Oh, no.
To the board.
Guy Henry.
There you go.
Facial hair, classically trained actor, went to RADA, has a fantastic clipped voice. He's also got form. He was Pious Thickness in the Harry Potter series. He played a baddie in this as well. More recently, you may remember him as Dead Peter Cushing in Rogue One.
Oh,
So, and he was also in Holby City, playing a guy called Heinrich.
oh no. Okay.
Look at
Very
him.
nice.
Glasses
dear.
standard. Now that's it. He's very. You have to think the Doctor has to be very, and the Master have to be very similar.
very classy.
He's
Suave as heck.
controlled, scary. He's like your headmaster, but you've not done the homework, or your boss when you've done something wrong. He's every scary authority figure rolled into one, and you can imagine he looks evil there.
Yeah.
He looks scary.
Yeah, but
And
imagine
he
him versus Jaden Smith. That would be like.
Yeah, he's got that sort of classiness. He's got stage props, which gives him gravitas, presence, everything. We've had crazy masters and everything off the wall. I'm thinking of going back to something more Delgado. That would be more Delgado. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that could be my winner for a master for going into the the next 4 or 5 years. And in honor of him being in Holby City and playing a character called Heinrich, I'm saying let's have Heinrich Master Race running on Twitter, and I'd love to see that trending. Heinrich Master Race.
Oh dear.
I'll be with you guys in a minute.
Wow.
So that concludes my selection from the beef jury for this evening. I'd like to give some of my choices, certainly Jaden Smith, nul point, but yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I hope you've enjoyed the show, and hopefully pass the audition. And,
Tip your bartenders and waitresses. I'll be here all week. Okay.
Nice, nice, babe, nice.
My choice would have been Ben Miller myself, but
Well, I actually
Wasn't he considered for the Doctor a few years ago, somewhere?
Actually, I forgot about that part. I actually have a couple of names I'd like to give for the master.
Go on ahead, Alex.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. Got to answer the doorbell.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you go off the top room.
Live on the podcast.
You answer the door. Hang on.
Sorry, guys. Had to do it. All right. So if it's a female master, go with, what is it, Tilda Swinton? The one we said before. Now, that would be interesting. And she's a little bit more severe.
And she's scary.
My favorite would be Philip Glenister, who was related to the guy from Caves of Androzani.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. For an American one, dear, I just lost the name. Anyway, yeah. So those are the main ones. I forgot the other two names I was thinking of. I got distracted. Sorry.
All right, Texas Tim, who would you like to see as the master? You know, if that were to happen, a big if.
Patrick Stewart.
Ooh.
That would be interesting.
He's tired of playing good guys. He wants to be an asshole. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, no more Professor X after Logan, he said.
Awesome, Tim.
Not the Doctor Who tonight, Harry.
Hey, British actor, Oxford accent. He can do it.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants. He's Patrick Stewart.
Just give him a beard.
Yeah. The makeup department can do wonders with that.
It kind of brings me up an alternate for the for the dumpster fire candidate for the Doctor, William Shatner. Hello, I am the Doctor. Now listen here, Davros.
I'm a rocket man.
Okay, so you folks who are watching, like I said, this was just done for fun. Like I said, we have no idea who's on the block. We have no idea who's going to be listed. It's just a little way to pass the time because we got a few more weeks now until the new show starts. New series, and I figure why not have a little fun with it? Also, it kind of puts you in the mind of look at all the work we did just to pick these single candidates. Imagine what poor Chibi is going to have to do coming into the job now. The kind of research they're going to have to do, auditions, read-throughs. There's got to be countless actors up for the job. And unfortunately, the one we feel is most qualified is the guy
is Jaden Smith.
No.
The guy that we feel most qualified is the one being pushed out the door.
Exactly. Because here's the thing. They've just given the new guy, their new showrunner, a shitload of work he didn't need to do. I'm pretty sure he would have been perfectly happy to keep the status quo coming in. That would have made his first series a lot more easier to manage, to handle. He's got to worry about getting all these scripts in. The last thing he needs to worry about is casting somebody at this point. And again, he's not going to have the same freedom that the two previous showrunners had when it comes to casting at this point.
Yeah.
So,
it
would have BBC. Fuck you.
It would have definitely eased the transition if they just, said, look, let Capaldi stay one more season until that way you get situated and whatnot. But
definitely.
It's just ridiculous. Well, folks, that's enough for our fun for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Until next time, when I decide on whatever topic we're going to do, take care. Ta-ta. Have a great night.
Next week, I'll have flow charts.
All right. Flow charts.
Good night.